Hey guys, welcome to our show. My name is Alden.
My name's Michaela.
It's our first episode ever of any podcast we've ever done, so we're very excited. Today's topic is kind of like, what is a sitcom? So we just have a couple of questions we're going to just kind of ask each other. It's a super chill thing. We're just going to go back and forth with the conversation, and we'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. So yeah, I guess I'll kick things off. So Michaela, like, what do you think defines a sitcom?
Well, sitcom, to break it down, right? It stands for like situational comedy.
Right?
So yeah, just I think like making a funny show about just like the most like everyday life situations. It's not because I feel like most sitcoms like they're not in like a super obscure place. It's kind of like
Right.
some familiar place that we've been before. Like if it's a family show where most of us like are in family environments, or if you're like in a workplace, like at least someone's been in a workplace, even if it's not this specific one that the show had, and just like finding the everyday humor in those situations.
Yeah, I agree. Like for me, like yes, it's whenever you put characters or a character in a situation that is usually pretty relatable, and then like hijinks ensue. Kind of like what you said. There's usually, I think traditionally, I'm trying to think about, what I've talked about in class. There's always like that third place. So if you think about Friends, there's the
Mhm.
apartments, and then like their third place is really the coffee house. And we don't really have that anymore. Like if you think about it, like I think really post-COVID, that third place doesn't exist. If you think about, let's say, like Boy Meets World, there's school, there's his house, and then they were trying to find that third place, and then earlier on it's Chubby's, and then they kind of move it to the student union when they're in college. Like, we don't really have that third place anymore, like as humans, and I think shows are struggling a bit because of that. It's that, it's not home, it's not work, it's that mutual middle ground. But yeah, like what would you say like a sitcom in its true form like really is? Like if you think, is it multicam? Is it single cam? Is it live studio audience? Is it not? Like, what do you think like really makes like a sitcom in its truest form, even if it doesn't exist today?
I feel like both multicam and single cam can be sitcoms. Like I don't think that should like delete the other one. Because I think yeah, like whatever way you film it, it could still be a sitcom. I think it's just like as long as yeah, it is really that relatable everyday situational comedy, then like it could count as a sitcom. But yeah, I feel like the ones that at least like for filming wise, more memorable to film for the cast, it seems, are the ones with live audiences, which I know like nowadays there's like a couple shows that film with live audiences, but a lot of those ones are usually the multicam ones, and then there's not as many multicam sitcoms today. So then that's kind of unfortunately decreased a lot. I think probably for the cast, for them, it probably feels like the multicam is more of a sitcom because they're getting like live audience feedback and reactions. But then for like the viewer watching it, most people like I feel like most people if you ask them like, "Oh, do you think this is multicam or single cam?" Unless they like really were looking at it, they wouldn't be able to like tell the difference. They would just be able to be like, "Oh, that show's really funny. I really enjoyed it."
Yeah, so in my opinion, I really feel like what like kind of defines it for me, like in terms of format, is that traditional multicam like setup, that whole like live studio audience. I don't know like why, but like for me, like that really is what I think like the American sitcom is. But like to your point, that doesn't really exist anymore. Like if you think about it, I think the only place that really exists are like children channels like Nickelodeon and like Disney Channel. I think they still do a lot of those. And honestly, like it makes me kind of sad because like I do a lot of like theater. I did that all through school and stuff, and like we always had an audience because it was theater, and like having that like energy is like so like I don't know, it like really invigorates a lot of people. Like I was one of them who like really enjoyed that energy, and it makes you like kind of want to push jokes sometimes, which can be good and bad, but like it also like really like kind of like makes you like be a little bit more explanatory, I guess, about the jokes. You really want to like get that,
Mhm.
punch it in there because you want to get that reaction from the audience, whether it's a laugh, a gasp, anything. Like it's so much fun. And I really wish that like sitcoms like that still existed. I don't know why they don't still do stuff like that. Like I mean, I feel like part of me wants to say it's because of COVID, like no one wants to be in the same room, but like 2020 was not the death of sitcoms. Like people did
Yeah.
not have live studio audiences long before that. I think about shows like The Middle or like Modern Family. And I know like a lot of shows that you watch too, like they don't have live studio audiences anymore, and I'm not sure why. Like we so for those of you guys who don't know, we were both studied film in school. So we have a lot of background in this. But like one thing I know we talked about in like one of our classes was just kind of like how long it takes to shoot something single cam versus multicam. Like because you have like three, it's usually three or four cameras, and like I Love Lucy was the genesis of this. They set them up all around, and you would like kind of just perform it like a play, and then like the cameras would sort of follow you wherever you were, and you didn't do a whole lot of reshoots. Sometimes if it was like a set outside of the, traditional sets, they would do pre-tapes and stuff. But like with like a single cam, a lot of it is just like, okay, it's going to be like 2 hours of shooting this one, like these two lines, because we got to get this person's coverage. Then you're going to switch it around. You're going to have one or two cameras doing the exact same scene for the next 2 hours with the other person's coverage. And I feel like as an actor, that would like really like get boring and tiring, and like it would be hard to keep it fresh. And as a viewer, I don't know. I think it's interesting. Like, I think I would love to like bring some guests on who don't have a film background to this podcast and just like kind of hear what they think. Because I've talked about this with my family who have no clue what film really is. Like, and my sister especially, she's like, sitcoms exist. Like, I mean, I don't really watch a whole lot, but like they're still out there and they're funny. And I'm like, yeah, but I do think like now everyone like anything that's a comedy, it's like a dramedy. Like there has to be drama in it for some reason. I feel like there's
Yeah.
like nothing left that's pure funny, pure comedy. And I argue with this all the time. I'm like, no, like it's a single camera comedy. I don't think that's considered a sitcom because it's not like I feel like they're trying to make it more real these days, like more relatable and it's like less hijinksy. And I think like the
Yeah.
90s sitcoms that I like to watch so much, The Full House, The Boy Meets World, you have to suspend your disbelief to a certain extent, and you have to just kind of like go into that episode thinking like, I can relate to this situation, but the hijinks that ensue, that would not probably happen realistically speaking.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like that's just like kind of how I feel. Like I I think because of my theater background, I'm very like committed to the multicam kind of thing.
Mhm.
But I know like you watch a bunch of like single camera comedies and stuff. And I kind of just like want to like like hear your takes on that. Like I don't know, like I know you've watched some of the Boy Meets World with me, but I know like you have a lot of experience with the Girl Meets World, like that sort of stuff. Like I kind of just be interested to hear like your thoughts, like kind of I guess comparing like the differences that you see between multicam and single cam, whether it's like story wise, style wise, all of it. Yeah.
That's a really good question. Yeah, I was thinking of like the recent comedies that I watch, and I do think most of them are single cam. Like there's one on NBC called St. Dennis Medical that's like very similar to like the Office style. It's a workplace like mockumentary comedy in a hospital, which is kind of interesting. Because usually hospital shows are like these really
Yeah.
dramatic kind of shows. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's single cam. And the interesting thing with that show is like the comedy in it. Some of it is like a little ridiculous, but some of it you're kind of like, wait, these could actually like happen, or like because a lot of the comedy in that show is really with the characters. Like there's just such funny like doctors in the show and then like patients in the show and some of the ways that they act, it's like, oh wait, there actually could be someone that's acting this way in a hospital setting. That would be funny. Because of our like film background, I can tell more if like it is multicam or not. Just because like usually weirdly the multicam shows, one way that I can kind of tell is that the camera quality is like a little bit
Yeah.
less for some reason. I don't know why, but I guess just because like they have to have three cameras, it's more expensive. So then that's probably a way that they're like saving money, at least on the production side there. But that's one way that I'll like notice it. I have started to watch some of the newer Disney Channel shows, such as Electric Bloom and then Vampirina. I think both of those are multicam, but I don't know. I think Vampirina seems very multicam, I think. I'll have to research that actually.
I
But
think it is because Danielle Fishel directs that, and I listen to their podcast,
mm,
and she says that she does a lot of multicam stuff.
oh, okay, okay. And then yeah, I wonder if they film with the live audience or not, because I'm not sure. There's this like site called One Iota that you can get like free tickets if you're in like Hollywood or New York City to show tapings. I think there was like this CBS sitcom that was multicam called Lopez versus Lopez. I haven't watched it, but
Danielle does that too.
oh, really? Oh my gosh. So
Hmm.
yeah, that one I remember seeing like you could get tickets for and some other shows, but like the Disney Channel shows I would never see like live taping tickets or yeah, it would always be like the same couple shows. So it doesn't seem like they're having as many anymore. But yeah, I think the difference probably, but it's like hard to tell, is like with the live audience multicam shows, like the actors, yeah, they are getting that live reaction and they are being able to like punch up the jokes on the spot and in the
Yeah.
moment. So probably like what reaches the final edit of the episode is a lot better.
I mean, I think part of that is like how much you rehearse it too. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't really know what single cam is like. And I mean, in terms of rehearsals, like we've never been on a show like that or any show really. But like when I listen to like the Boy Meets World and the Full House podcast, like they'll kind of talk about their schedule. Like Boy Meets World was a little different, it was Friday to Friday. Because the show creator was Jewish, so he would just do table readings in the morning and then the rest of Friday was off for
Mm,
his Sabbath. But like basically like what it was is you would have like that week, you would start with the table read and then you basically like rehearsed and like I think your like off book day was like that Thursday, but they would like rewrite until that Thursday. Like they would show up to work and there'd be pages crossed out, new pages put in, and that apparently is very unusual to like change the script that much over the course of a week. Like sure, a line here and there, but like to cross out pages, add new ones the day you're shooting, like that's very unusual. But I mean, part
mm,
of that is because like they get feedback at the table read from the actors and like, the writers like sometimes something's funny, like you said, when you write it on a page, it's hilarious, but sometimes the way it's performed, maybe it's not performed well, or like it just doesn't read as well when you're saying it out loud. So like that's kind of like your first chance to, cut jokes to punch it up. Then, you go into rehearsal, I guess for Boy Meets World would be Monday. You'd have your kind of like first rehearsal, you still have the script in your hand, and like that's kind of a chance to put things on its feet and see, does it read better when it's up? Does it read better like not at all? Like that kind of sort of thing. But I think like the big tell that I'm sure they still would do with single cam shows is the producer run through, where they'll like run through the whole show
mm,
like a play, top to bottom. And like if the producers aren't laughing, or if they have a note because they want to change something, or they don't like something, like that's kind of when you get a lot of feedback. And that producer will say something like, "Hey, I want to, like this is too serious. You need to lighten this up. Here's a note. Like do that, or try this joke, do that." Like you can do like a lot of stuff there. And then kind of like you said, again, then you shoot it, Friday for the TGIF sitcoms. They're shooting it, and like you said, they're getting all of that feedback from, different sources. And like one thing that always stands out to me, when like they talk about this a lot in the Pod Meets World podcast when they review episodes, like there's this one that I think we should review where like you can hear the producers behind the camera laughing on top
oh,
of
really?
the audience laughter. Yeah, like I can't really hear it, but now that I know to listen to it for it, I do try to do it. But the actors can get it because he's like, we shot this scene over and over again, and they didn't think what I was doing physically was funny. So we shot
Mhm.
this for hours and hours and hours, and I just, threw this thing and I made a really funny sound, and like, everyone just started dying laughing, and like that was the take we used. So I think it's kind of interesting because I do think it's so important to have that feedback, that conversation with the audience. And I think it does kind of like, even if you're like not in the live studio audience, when you see it at home and you hear like the laugh track going, I think it's just like a fun thing to like, you kind of like feel like you're in on it, you know? Like, yeah, it's telling you when to laugh, but also like now you know it's a joke, you know it's funny. And I think sometimes, maybe especially for kids who are trying to figure out what's okay to laugh at and what's not, it's almost
Mm,
like, I don't want to say a teaching mechanism, but it kind of is, you know? Like, you might make fun of something, and sometimes that's mean, but sometimes it's funny. And I think
right.
like Disney really heavy-handedly like lends itself to that, if someone says something mean, they go, ooh, and like you hear that background stuff, like sometimes it's like funny to have that stuff in the background, but at the same time, I feel like sometimes it kind of like makes you feel like you're on the inside of something, you know? I do enjoy like some modern day stuff, like The Middle, which I know has ended and stuff. Like I do like
Mhm.
those sort of things, but I don't know, for me, I just like really love that like retro like 90s sitcom sort of feel. So yeah, so what kind of shows, Michaela, do you think that we might want to like tell our viewers that we're thinking about doing just in terms, because I think we both want to kind of do family friendly sitcoms. We're really into like that sort of vibe. So yeah, if there are any shows you want to like tease our viewers with?
Definitely Girl Meets World, big fan of that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I feel like Lizzie McGuire. I forget if you've seen that or not.
Yeah, oh, I have. We gotta do that.
Lizzie McGuire is such a classic, so underrated.
Do you think that's single cam? I just remember there's no laugh track.
It probably is, yeah,
We
because I feel
should
like
we
they
should
filmed
look
in
into
like a
it.
real set.
Yeah, we should look into that. Yeah, I guess one thing I did want to
Yeah.
say about what I think is important is like I think when I'm trying to tell the difference between multicam and single cam, my number one thing I always listen for is if there's a laugh track. Usually if there's a laugh track, it's
Mm,
multicam. If there isn't, that's usually single cam.
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think maybe like The Middle, Modern Family, which are like some sitcoms from the 2010s. But of course single cam. Yeah, definitely we want to
Ooh,
do some Disney Channel stuff. We do love the Disney Channel.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Abbott Elementary. Even though I think you haven't
Yes.
heard of that one yet, or
I
no?
know I've seen some of it, not
Or
all of
no?
it, but I'm
Okay.
watching it, yeah.
Yeah, that one I feel like that's like my personal like best comedy out there right now. Like best family friendly comedy out there right now. But that's like another maybe we could do a future episode of like a ranking, like top 10 Disney sitcoms or like top 10, our favorites.
We should. I actually saw some lists out there, and I think we can like review the list, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Some of the lists have some comments.
Yeah, some that I'm like is like I'm super into like the 90s family sitcoms. Like my big ones are Full House and Boy Meets World, so we definitely want to do that. Definitely the pilot episodes. I think the Full House pilot episode is just like so well written. Like I just think it's
We could
perfect.
watch that
So
one.
yeah, no, I think we should definitely like watch it and review it together for sure. We'll get to that. Oh, one thing I think we haven't talked about yet is movies. Because we also
Oh
want to
yes,
do
yeah, yeah.
DCOMs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like we said, we're big fans of the Disney Channel. We are in our 20s. I don't think that matters. But yeah, no, we love zombies. Huge fans
Yeah.
of High School Musical, Descendants. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, what kind of DCOMs are you thinking about?
Oh, I think we were talking about Lemonade Mouth. That's a classic.
Yes,
And then oh, Descendants.
for
Yeah. That
sure.
one's more recent, but like that's a good one.
Oh,
And
Teen Beach Movie.
oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that one. I feel like that one like it was so like popular like in its time, but like younger kids now like they don't know what that is. Like
No, it's like it's over 10 years old now though.
yeah, yeah, I
Just
know. Crazy.
crazy. Halloween, like Girl versus Monster.
Oh yeah, that one's good. Oh, that one is good. And then I like what's the other one that Dove Cameron's in? That's like she's a snowboarder.
Oh, Cloud9
Yes, that one
with Luke
changed my life.
Benward. I
That
love
one
Luke Benward.
changed my life. Oh my gosh.
I remember watching that like when it came
Yeah.
out.
Oh, women in snow sports. Let's go.
Yes. Oh my God, yeah. We're really big fans of like classical Disney Channel is what I like to call it. So get ready, guys. We're gonna like be going hard on this. Have you listened to Magical Rewind? It's a podcast.
No, no. But you've sent
You
me
would
some
love
episodes.
it.
Was it
Yeah,
was
it's Will Friedle and Sabrina Bryan, and they
mhm.
like, and they all they do is watch DComs, and Will Friedle's like never seen DComs, so like
Mm.
it's very interesting to hear his takes. He's like a big like musical hater, but he said that he
Oh, it's
loved High School Musical, and he was like he like just watched it for the podcast, so I haven't listened to that one yet, but like. Yeah, I think we could get some info from them. Honestly, if you're out there, Will Friedle, I'd love to talk to you. I think his
yeah,
view on
yeah,
what a
for the
sitcom
podcast.
is so interesting. Like I love like he kind of he's the one who inspired me with this whole like I think that the true American sitcom is like the
Mm.
multicam comedy. Like like that's all inspo from him. I love him. I love his ideas behind sitcoms and stuff. So if we're able to get him on the podcast, Will Friedle, please reach out. We don't have an email address yet, but when we do, we'll let you know what it is. Yeah, I think we have a pretty good like starting out. I think our viewers have a good understanding of what we think is a sitcom. I'm sure we'll delve into it more. Maybe we can do like, Everybody Loves Raymond. We saw that exhibit at the Paley Center.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know, yeah. I've always heard about that. My mom really liked that show, but I don't think I've ever like really watched an episode. I feel
They
like there's
actually just had a special where they had the whole cast come and they rebuilt the set and they had a whole special where everyone talked about it.
wait, that sounds so like wholesome. Oh, all that.
I'll have to find it and you can watch it. My family and I watched it together.
Oh wait, I also wanted to mention, I know it's definitely more of a dramedy, but High School Musical, the series, I feel like should have a
Yeah.
special exception.
I think so, because one thing we haven't told our viewers yet is Michaela and I are going to New York City and we're going to watch Little Shop of Horrors,
Oh
which
yes, yeah.
the production we're going to see has Joshua Bassett starring as Seymour. And even though it's not, a sitcom or a decom, we think we're going to do an episode telling you about our thoughts of it. So it'll be Michaela's first, is it your first off-Broadway show?
No, no, I think because
Oh, you saw Heathers. I forgot. How
yeah,
could I
yeah,
forget?
yeah.
We saw Heathers together too. It was great.
Second.
So yeah, Michaela's second off-Broadway show.
I
Her
have
first
no
time
idea
seeing Little
anything
Shop.
about it. The only
Yeah,
thing
she's
I
in a
know is
Little
that
Shop.
Joshua Bassett is in it. I'm a huge Joshua Bassett fan, so have to support him, you know?
Yeah, so no spoilers if this airs before then. No spoilers for Michaela. I've seen Little Shop off Broadway. I think this will be my third time seeing it. I've seen it with like a couple different actors. I thought it was great. My friend was in it at school, so I saw it there too. I've seen the movie like two or three times. I'm a big fan. So I'm so excited to see it with Michaela. I can't wait to hear all of her reactions.
Milo Manheim also, he was one of the Seymour, right?
Yes,
You
that
should
was one of the ones I
compare
saw.
the Disney performances, the Disney actor to Seymour Pipeline.
Yeah, I'll say I won't get into it too much here, but like I will say like I don't want to say I was disappointed by Milo. I love Milo. I think he was
We love
great. I loved
Milo, we love
meeting him at the
Milo.
stage door. I just thought like I didn't feel like he embodied Seymour as much as like I had hoped, I guess. Like honestly, I think he's too cool to be Seymour. Like that's what it is. Seymour is
Mm,
not a cool guy. Like he's not supposed to be
that's
cool.
fair. That's
But
very
like
fair.
I kind of felt like maybe it was his height. He just seemed a little bit too cool to be Seymour.
Interesting.
Like the guy who originated this production of Little Shop, Jonathan Groff, he's like a big name.
Hmm.
I didn't see him in it, but he's on the soundtrack, and I think he's too old for Seymour, and I don't think that he's like uncool enough for it. Like I just don't I can't like I talked to my dad about this. He's like, yeah, I just don't see Jonathan Groff as Seymour. He's too much of like a name almost to play a part that's supposed to be kind of so like geeky-ish, I guess. I don't know.
That makes sense. Yeah, because it's like hard to
Like
separate the person from the character, like the reality.
yeah, and Seymour's supposed to be like 20. Jonathan
Oh,
Groff is like 40.
it's like the like Dear Evan Hansen thing where like isn't he supposed to be an
Yeah,
actor or something and
yeah,
then
he's 16 and he was
yeah,
played by a
yeah.
40-year-old. Yeah. No, well, the funny thing about that is Andrew Barth Feldman played Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway, like, I
Oh
think
yeah.
after Ben Platt at some point. And I think everyone loved him. Well, he was the first Seymour I saw off Broadway as, I mean, he was like the best Seymour ever. He was like so believable as that character. He embodied it so well. Like, all of his physicality. Honestly, I wish I could watch him play it every single time. It was so good. But I'm excited to see what Joshua does with the character.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we'll have to see how his puppetry is. There is a little bit of puppetry in the show.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to see how he is.
Would you say that all DCOMs are comedies? Because I was just thinking, I was like, wait, DCOMs are Disney Channel original movie. It doesn't necessarily have comedy in the acronym.
You're right.
But I mean, most of them are lighthearted and like, have comedy in them.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's for kids. I feel
Right.
I think that like today people don't think kids can handle something that isn't a comedy, which I think they are sorely mistaken. I
Oh, that's very interesting. I never thought about that.
Because I remember like when I was at LMU, I talked to some professors because I thought I wanted to do kids, and like that's when I learned that there was a difference between kids and family. Like I did not realize there was a difference between like of those. So
Oh.
like yeah, like that's like kind of when I started like watching Boy Meets World Full House was around that time because I was like, oh, it was on Disney Channel, it's for kids. But I was like, no, TGIF is like it's thank goodness it's funny, but some people do think it's thank goodness it's family because like it's was for the
Mm.
family. So like that's like we like yeah, so I think there are older ones, like older DCOMs that probably are maybe not
Like,
as
oh my
comedic.
gosh, I don't know. Like the color of friendship. Because I was thinking of that. Like, that's one of my favorite DCOMs, but it is not comedy.
That's like Will Friedle's favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, I haven't seen that episode, but yeah, no, yeah, we should do that one, I think, because Will Friedle says it's like his all-time favorite. Because
Well,
he
yeah,
also,
have you seen it yet or no?
I haven't, no,
It's
but
very
yeah, because yeah, that's what I mean. Like there are things like that that like maybe like aren't supposed to be a comedy, but like I think they do like try to teach like important lessons, and I think that's just as valuable. But like I was talking to my mom about this today actually, like with zombies specifically, like we'll get into this more with the zombies episode, but like yeah, it's about cheerleaders and zombies for kids, but if you look deeper, it's really about class and racial differences.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, zombies like uh it is really good. Like, because there is just so much like social commentary there, but like in such a palatable way for kids and just like a good
Yes.
overall message of like, okay, like if there's people that are different from you, like you shouldn't have these stereotypes about them and like you should still be friends with them and treat them with, respect and stuff. And that's like really the message every single time. Like every single zombies movie, it's pretty much that same message, but just with like a new group of people. Yeah, like I remember like when I first saw like the first one, like especially because I was older than the target demographic
Yeah.
watching, I immediately got it and I just was like, wow, that's like really smart. But yeah, because like I feel like at least when Zombies 1 came out, it was so underrated. Like it did get like obviously the sequels, but
Yeah.
everyone was just like, oh, like this isn't as good as Descendants. Oh, this isn't as good as High School Musical. And it's like they're just different movies, but like what I will say Zombies does really well is like it does tap into like those deeper themes. Because
Yeah.
with Descendants and High School Musical, like they also have themes that they dive into, but it's not really as about that. Like, I don't
I
know. I
think
don't think about that.
yeah, no, I mean, I think like with High School Musical, like the way I see it is like it was kind of getting there, if that makes sense. Like High School
Yeah,
Musical,
yeah, yeah,
like there is a separation and there is a status quo in high school, and I think that is so
yeah.
relatable, and that's one of the reasons it's so lasting because like I was in the thespian group at my own school, and like it was a very different structure. Like the jocks did not talk to me, but like there, I mean, I was not hanging out with a lot of people who did sports, and that whole intersection of like, can you do musical and sports? Senior year, you kind of couldn't because of the way like things worked out. Like that was like a thing, and like people are like, oh, I'm the nerd in school. I'm not, like that's a thing, but that's not
Mhm.
at all the same. Like a brainiac versus a jock is not the race and class difference that zombies presents at
Right,
all.
right.
But like it does feel that way when you're in high school, I'm sure. Like that, you do feel
Yeah.
like how high the stakes are. Then like Descendants, I think, does push it a step further. I mean, they're
Mm.
exiled on an island and they're not allowed to
Yeah,
enter
yeah.
this at all.
That's
So like, yeah, it's similar, but I do think it's like not as apparent because it is covered up with all of the like understanding of the magic and the world building that you have to kind of have going into it. But you're right, like
mhm,
zombies really does like I think that they're very intentional on it. They live on a
mhm.
separate place. They're not allowed to intersect with it. They have a curfew. There's a language barrier for
Yeah,
Bonzo.
right,
Like,
right.
I mean, we'll get into it more, I'm sure, but like that's like a huge thing. And also, I think one reason it kind of hits different is it's the first DCOM that they ever did that where the leads did not have their own show on the channel.
Oh. Wait, so what was the show for like Descendants? That makes sense because Def Cameron, Liv and Maddie. But what about High School Musical?
That was a little separate. Like, I guess, okay, not the first decom ever. That's a big statement. I think it's probably like
Mm.
the first big one they were trying to push at. Well, I mean,
Mm.
well, High School Musical had Ashley Tisdale, and she was on
Oh,
Sweet
okay. So like
Life.
someone that wasn't like the two leads, like they really weren't on Disney Channel shows and like
They
had that.
weren't. Milo,
Yeah,
I don't think was on anything, and then I know
yeah.
Addison
Meg Donnelly.
McDonnelly, she was on American Housewife. We could do that
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
But like
yeah.
that
But not a
wasn't,
Disney Channel
yeah, it
show.
was affiliated, but it wasn't Disney Channel, which was like
Yeah,
kind of different. I mean, Zac Efron, he did a couple of guest spots on Disney with Ashley
I do
Tisdale
remember that.
too.
Yeah.
Like they were like kind of on and off. Like Teen Beach Movie, Ross Lynch was Austin and
Oh, that's
Ally.
true. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
when you think like about those movies, like that's synergy and like that's very smart to do that and it makes kids want to
Yeah.
watch these movies because they know the
Oh yeah.
actors. But like, I mean, zombies, honestly, that was the big gamble for them if you think about it.
Yeah, because there wasn't, at least for like kids watching Disney Channel at that time, like all the faces were new faces. They never really saw them
Yeah.
previous beloved shows or stuff like that.
And they kept doing it. Like Will
Yeah.
Friedle talked about this on his podcast for the fourth one. They're not bringing in they're bringing in new actors. Like no one really knows Malachi. No one knows Freya's guy.
The only thing with Malachi, but I don't know if like little kids would have made the connection was like he was on Stuck in the Middle, which was a
Oh
Disney
yeah.
show, but like that show had so many cast members. Like it was like a centered about like a Latina family that like had like seven kids or something.
Yeah.
He was one of the kids, but not like the main girl who was Jenna Ortega. Real ones
Love
know.
her.
Uh, so like I recognized him from that connection, but like that was so long ago because he was so young in
Young.
Sucker Doll, and then now in Zombies 4, like he's a teenager. So like I don't know if most little kids who saw him in that one would connect it, but there probably were some. But
Yeah, I mean, I think that like they are really trying to like do this like new like thing because I think it's hard because kids aren't really watching cable anymore. So I think like it's kind of hard to understand who everyone's watching. Like Princess Protection Program, they did that to bring Demi into the light. They gave her her own show. Selena Gomez was there. Like
mm,
those movies were made to introduce you to a new character, like because Selena Gomez was so well known. So if you're watching Wizards, you're like, I want to go see Alex in this new movie. But like right now, you don't know what kids are watching. Are they even watching the channel? Like it's really hard to say because of social media.
I think Disney Channel, at least for the parent perspective, is still seen as like a very trusted, like I can put in a Disney Channel, my kid, like they'll be fine. But then it's just like, yeah, if the parents still have cable, they'll be able to show them, or if they have Disney Plus, I think that's like the new way of showing the Disney Channel shows to kids is through Disney Plus. It's nice to know that there's still channels like Disney Channel and Nickelodeon that like they're making content for kids that, is funny, is with like real kid actors that are around like the kid's age. And that's just not clickbaity.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think that's a wrap on our sitcom episode, our first episode ever. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for our first review episode. I think we're gonna have so many fun ideas, and I'm excited to bring our like film knowledge in because we've studied structure, we've studied analyzing plots and everything. We know what we're talking about, guys. We're excited. We'll have an Instagram handle one day soon. We're still trying to debate our title, but when the time comes, please follow us on Instagram. Follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube. Send us an email when we have an email address. We don't have that yet either. When we do, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave your comments down below, and we'll see you next time.